Of course, earlier Diane Watson of the United States picking up bronze in the women's individual compound competition. The ladies give way now to the men, and it's time for the men's bronze medal match featuring not one, but two Frenchmen who competed this morning just hours ago as teammates in team competition, but now will become fierce competitors. As Gail Prévost, their teammate, in the stands watching on.
Yep, it's easy to shoot against your, or it's not easy to shoot against your teammate, definitely. It's easy to watch if you're you know, a French person right now, because you don't really have an opinion or you don't really care, but a lot of times whenever you're shooting against your teammate, it's even more difficult than if you're shooting against someone else.
You've been in that situation countless times.
Yep, it is. We don't enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
It's bittersweet if you win, for sure.
So the two Frenchmen, Dominique Genet, Pierre-Julien Deloche.
And these guys, I'm sure, shoot together all the time, compete against each other all the time.
Probably
so they know,
had lunch together.
Exactly. So they know what each other's capable of and what to expect and whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
So the compound competition for the men and the battle for the bronze about to begin. Here in the Pudong district of Shanghai. We look across the Wangpu River to the west side. Dominique Genet, who beat Sergio Pagni in the elimination round match, edged out Braden Gillentine in the quarters and then fell by 5 to Rio Wild in the semis, gets things started.
Yeah, both these guys, the Deloche actually beat Dave in the quarters, in the Dave Cousins of the U.S. And Braden lost to Genet in the quarters as well. So both the American guys are, you know, really, really top shooters in men's compound archery. So these guys were able to beat them. It says a lot for them.
Nothing but 10 so far as the two Frenchmen go at it. And a 9. It's kind of like brothers going and playing pickup basketball in the backyard. They may be brothers, but each still wants to win.
That's right.
And Deloche with a 10. So 2 10s and a 9 for each of these archers.
And they both qualified relatively high. 4 and 6 it looks like. So they've been shooting well all week.
That's the part I think a lot of people forget about Erica. By the way, Erica Anschutz, gracious enough to join us here Mike's side this afternoon for the finals and the individual competition. I think people forget the challenge that goes on all week long when the cameras aren't trained on you during the elimination round. It's just an accomplishment to get this far.
It definitely is. I mean, these guys there's so many awesome male compound shooters out there in the world right now, and it can really be one of 30 men who could win at any given time. So these guys have got a lot of pressure on them, and it's just a long trip to get here. You know, we're only here for a week, but there's a lot of shooting that goes into it, and it really takes a toll on your mindset, and it's all important leading up to this, for sure.
And you've got to be ready for every match and every competitor, every round. You can't let up and have a letdown at any time, because when you do, that's when you get beat.
That's right. You got to be making good shots the whole time for the last, 4 or 5 days. It's definitely a challenge.
Genet continues to shoot well. We were tied at 29 all after the first end. Now Pierre-Julien Deloche finds that center ring as well. Deloche ranked 8th in the world Won a mixed team silver medal at the 2011 World Cup Stage 4, which was right here in Shanghai. Genet answers.
Yep, they're both shooting pretty well.
Great grouping.
Definitely. Looks like they're up there. Both of them are shooting a little bit left.
A little bit too far left that time for
Looks like he's moving his sight, so apparently they weren't bad shots.
Now that should count as a 10, and it does.
Yep.
So Deloche moves ahead by 1, 59 to 58. As that was on the line, and it counts as a 10. And there's 1 point separating the two Frenchmen. Talk about that sight a little bit, Erica, if you would.
Talk about what?
Talk about the sight a little bit.
The sight. Okay, all of the compound archers here are shooting a movable sight. And depending on your preference, you might be shooting a 4 power or a 6 power or possibly a 2 or an 8. And it just kind of, you know, magnifies the target a little bit and helps you see better so that you can aim better. And if you're shooting a little bit high or a little bit low or something, you're able to move your sight in that direction in order to move your groups and your arrows into the middle. So it's definitely an advantage. I mean, the recurves have the movability as well, but they don't have the scope on it.
But that comes through experience as well, knowing if you move it, what the consequences of that are, and what it might possibly mean for the next shot.
Right, yeah, you got to know, you know, depending on how much you're missing by, how many clicks to move it.
Mm-hmm. First arrow of the third end. And Genet with a 10. He came in trailing by 1. And there are those monitors.
Yeah, we better get used to seeing a lot of 10s, because I'm sure with these guys and even our next match, we're going to be seeing a lot of them.
It's really the name of the game for you.
It is, especially for the men. I mean, you really can't miss that many points if you wanna win a match.
Just outside the 10 ring. So we're back tied again at 78 all.
It's interesting. I've never seen somebody have sidebars like he does. Coming out both sides like that. That's interesting.
There's that sight you were talking about.
Yep, that's the peep sight, which the thing that you see in the string is actually what there's a little hole in it, and you look through it and center up your scope in your peep sight, and that helps with, you have to basically make it concentric circles. So if it's, you know, if your sight is too far to the left in your peep sight, then you're gonna shoot left. You know, and yep, you have to line them up. You gotta, that's your rear sight versus your front sight.
Well, right now, these two archers have just about everything aligned. They're aligned at 88 points apiece after the first 3 ends. 5 ends in each match, 3 arrows per. And once again, a very close match, very close competition.
Nobody's really talking out there. I guess these guys really don't need to hear anything. They know what to do.
Both focused, both in their little bubble.
Yep, look confident, both of them do. And
neither one giving ground. So here we go in the fourth end. Genet, who is 43 years old.
He didn't like that one as soon as it went off. I could tell that.
And you can see why right there.
Probably his sight probably floated a little bit to the right just as it went off. And we're back even again.
So no real harm done as far as Genet is concerned, as Deloche answers with a 9, although it is a 9 on the line. That one's a 10. And a better shot that time by Pierre-Julien Deloche, who was 6th at the World Championships in Torino last summer. Strong shooting by Genet.
Yep, these guys look like they're making great shots.
And it puts the onus upon Pierre-Julien Deloche, who must answer with a 10 to keep pace.
Yeah, I don't think he liked that one as soon as it went either.
So despite the fact that Monsieur Genet shot the 9 on the first shot, he comes up with the 2 bullseyes after that, while Deloche answers with a pair of 9s and a 10, and right now they're separated by 1 point heading into the 5th and final end.
Yeah, and whether you know why you missed or not, sometimes you make bad shots and, you know, the arrow hits right behind the pin, you know, not in the 10 ring, in a bad shot like that, or if you just make a shot and you scratch your head and you're like, I wonder why it went there. They're both super frustrating for different reasons. Looks like a lot of the ones these guys are missing, I think are bad shots by the way their facial expressions, right, whenever they release.
So what you're basically saying, Erica, is that even though with all this technology, it's still not really a science.
Nope. A lot of times you know, well, most of the time at this level, you know why you miss. And a lot of times it's because your sight was a little bit off whenever the bow fired.
Genet matches him.
Deloche needs an opening here to have a chance.
All he can do is take care of his own business at this point and wait and see what Genet does.
That's right. He shouldn't even be worrying that. Looks like he's not worrying about what his teammate's going to be doing. Just trying to make the best shots.
But Genet not letting up at all.
Nope, he's matching him.
So it comes down to the final arrow for both of these archers as they compete for bronze. Three great shots in that last end for Pierre-Julien Deloche.
Strong shooting to end with, for sure.
It is up to Genet, and he puts it away.
Yep, very good shooting. See, and you can tell it's kind of bittersweet.
Yeah. Both of them teammates, compatriots, having to compete head-to-head here. And one slight shot, one slight miss made the difference in this. That's how small a margin for error there really is in the men's compound, and I think also in the women's compound as well, Erica.
That's right. Both divisions are just super competitive, and you know the women might be a lot of times a couple points below the men, but we're all still grouped together, and there's still a lot of competition in the divisions, definitely.
So another medal for France here today in Shanghai. in the compound competition. And this one, the gold medal, or excuse me, the bronze medal, goes to Dominique Genet